say you are what you eat, so I don't eat chicken feet. But I love me some of Grandma's pickled beets. Well, cut it up, put it in the pan, throw it over your shoulder and see where it lands right here in Farmer's Kitchen. Maters, taters, beans and corn, the cows in the barn and the sheep's been shorn, kids in the barnyard chasing Grandpa's chicken. Spices, slices, cuts and dices, gonna slash your grocery prices right here in Farmer's Kitchen. Help you grow your garden good with recipes to suit your mood. Try some grub you've never tried before. Smash it with a wooden mallet, gonna educate your palate. Right here in Farmer's Kitchen, in Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen. We're gonna cook something good now.
Hello and welcome to the Farmer's Kitchen. We're the farmers. This is our kitchen. This is not a set. This is where we cook, this is where we eat dinner, and this is tonight where we're done experimenting.
That's right, you've been cooking all day.
Been cooking all day. Sometimes you want something that you can't get. Maybe it's too far away.
Right.
Maybe it's you visited a restaurant, it's not quite like you remembered having it. So guess what we're gonna do tonight? Do you remember not too long ago we were in Nashville? Mm-hmm. Here's some pictures of our Nashville trip. What did we enjoy when we were in Nashville?
You like the hot chicken.
Yes. Now, let's talk about the Nashville Hot Chicken. There are so many stories about how it started, but the most predominant story is that there was a fellow, let's just say this particular guy liked the ladies.
Okay.
And the story goes that one night he was gone, came back the next morning, and his girlfriend had an idea maybe that something wasn't quite right, so she decided she was going to get him back. Now, here's the deal. In most cases, you've heard the saying, revenge is best served up cold, or is a dish served up cold. Well, in this case, she thought it might be funny to dish up some revenge and burn his mouth off.
Really?
So she made this chicken and she put so much cayenne in it, she thought he's gonna burn him up. Well, he sat down and ate the chicken that she fixed and was like, this is good.
So that'd be you, no matter how hot it is.
It didn't quite work out like she planned.
That's right.
And he went ahead and opened a store.
And now he's rich because of it. That's right.
And he became famous for his chicken.
Okay.
Now that's one story.
That's a true story, huh?
That could be a true story. I don't know.
Okay, could be.
It's a story, so
Okay.
who knows. So anyhow, several places we've had chicken. You don't like it that hot.
Yes, but you do.
So I'm going to engineer this for you tonight. It's very warm. Now if you ate the sauce itself, you think this is really warm. Once you cook it on the chicken, it really absorbs and you don't get that really hot thing.
Okay,
I know I'm being careful for you.
Okay.
First of all, I have found lately that when I smoke my chicken, even a full chicken on the smoker, if you do a salt brine ahead of time, it does not dry out. If you use enough salt in your chicken, then that's going to keep it nice and moist on the smoker. And a lot of people will spatchcock that bird to open up a little bit, so that'll work better on the smoker. Not too long ago, we wanted to have a chicken sandwich that's kind of like somebody else does out there that's a famous chicken maker. And we came pretty close. It had a dill pickle brine. Now, even if you don't like dill pickle, the flavor of a dill pickle brine or dill pickle juice makes chicken wonderful.
Yes, it does.
Then I'm going to take it, salt and pepper it, and think about the size you want for a sandwich. This beautiful piece of chicken, which has a little green tint to it, not because it's spoiled, because it's
Pickle juice?
been in pickle juice. Now I've already got this mixed up, but I'm going to show you what I got over here. I got 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Now if you're watching us on the show and we don't say it's self-rising, usually we're always using all-purpose. 1.5 cups. Next, we're going to use 1/4 cup of cornstarch. What happens when you use cornstarch with your flour when you're frying chicken?
Nice and crispy.
Crispy. And next, we're going to take some dry rub. You can use Cajun seasoning. We're using our dry rub here. We're going to use 3 tablespoons. I want to season it up. If you want to, if you really want to bump everything up, you can put some cayenne pepper in your flour itself. If you want to
Let's keep it normal.
keep things going, you can in your seasoned flour. Now I've got 3 tablespoons, but you can put a little cayenne pepper, some garlic, chili powder, whatever you want to do. In this one, I put just a little bit of cayenne.
Thank you.
Just a tiny bit. And again, this is just for the batter. So one thing that I have been doing here lately is using olive oil to deep fry. And I've used it over and over again because I have not nearly gotten anywhere close to the smoke point. If you remember, and I've said this a million times, but if you talk about the old days, and when Grandma was cooking her fried chicken, she didn't throw it in a vat of 400-degree oil and cook it for, 3 minutes on each side. She put it in there and let it slow cook.
On her stove, slow.
On her stove, slow. And a lot of times, remember the electric skillets that were so popular in the 50s and 60s? All right, so I'm going to take just flour to begin with, into some buttermilk, an egg. Now something we really need to do here, you need to make sure that every square inch, you don't want any dry spots, is covered on here, because we want every square inch of this to have wonderful flaky goodness. Now we're going to go into the seasoned batter. And another thing that we want to do here is no empty spots. Make sure that you have every place covered. Now here's the part that's going to shock you. On a lot of shows, they're going to say, have your oil at 375. 3 minutes on each side, 4 minutes on each side, whatever. No, that's not what we're going to do. We're staying way away from the smoke point, and we're going to let this cook, and it's going to cook fast enough. This piece of chicken, as thin as it is, if we're cooking this at about 275, yep, that's what we said, 275. And wait till you see how beautiful this comes out. If we're cooking this at 275, it's going to take it about 17 minutes. And it's not going crazy. There's not oil flying everywhere. You can see what happens. We are right now at about 273. I'm going to dip that in there and just let it fall. You see that's turning over nicely.
Looks good.
In a minute, I'm going to make sure that doesn't stick to the bottom. I'm going to loosen that up and let that float up. This chicken will almost tell you when it's done. It'll have a golden brown look. The severity of the oil movement through the chicken will lighten. You'll see less bubbles coming. It'll kind of float up.
It says eat me, eat me.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. That's what it says. I heard it.
I heard it too.
So I'm going to loosen that up and make sure that floats up. Now, let's take some Bowtie, 4 cups, which is usually like a 12-ounce box.
It's a whole box.
And this is Bowtie. Now, there's a reason I'm doing Bowtie tonight. You know what it is?
I do.
What do you think it is?
Because you're going to put these on your sandwich, aren't you?
You can put this on your sandwich if you choose to do so. But when you have a Nashville chicken, that's a pretty heated deal. You got some cayenne in there, some serious cayenne. What do you want to put on there to lighten it up a little bit?
Macaroni and cheese.
Macaroni and cheese.
That's right.
Now when you make macaroni and cheese, let's use real cheese. Let's not use the grated cheese. You know, if you buy cheese that's already grated, you're going to find that they put, I hate to say this, but they put chemicals in there to keep it from binding against each other. We don't want that here. We want it to glop all up and be nice and yummy and melty. I found some hatch pepper Gouda.
Yummy.
Why not give that a little bite? I found some sharp cheddar, and then I found some smoked cheddar.
Yummy.
So I've got 3 different kinds of cheeses. First of all, we're going to make a roux with some butter and flour, equal parts.
Yes.
Then some heavy cream, then the macaroni, then the cheese.
I'll just eat macaroni.
Kidding me?
I'll just eat
macaroni. You don't want macaroni,
I
aren't you?
want macaroni.
All right, let's check this out over here. Now look at that. It's all staying together. Everything's staying on there. It's not frying so rapidly that everything's coming apart.
Looks good.
And when it's done, and I think I'll let this go for around 17 minutes max. But if you crank your oil up too much, how many times have you even gone out to eat and got some chicken that they've thrown in there? It's really done on the outside and not so much on the inside.
Right.
Nobody wants that.
Right.
So that's going on in the background. I guess we could go ahead and start our Nashville sauce. Now, when I've had good Nashville sauce,
It's super hot.
Nashville hot sauce, it's hot, but when you see your chicken, you know it's got a little oily thing going on. And what I'm trying to do is get that wonderful taste, a little bit of sweet, a little bit of brown sugar. But what do you think the actual base of the sauce is?
What is the actual base? The
Some
olive
of your
oil.
reserve oil. In this case, we don't feel nearly as bad about it because it's olive oil, and I'm keeping that so below the smoke point that we still retain the properties of olive oil that are good for you.
You're so smart.
I'm so lucky because I found this out a while back, and look at the color, the taste. What do you think about the taste of anything fried in olive oil?
Delish.
It is
always.
delish. This is rather decadent. We don't eat like this every day, but today we're gonna.
That's right.
You can't stop us.
We're out of control.
And there you have it. Now you're going to find the longer that you're in the kitchen and the more you experiment, the more mistakes you make, the better.
Right.
You're also going to find that every time that you do something, it can sometimes open the door to the next thing. So we're going to come up with about a 1/4 cup, might be a little over. Remember, this is olive oil.
Yummy.
Olive oil, so you can't feel too bad about
That's
that.
right. You can't.
Hand me the most important ingredient. When you think about Nashville chicken, I'm not going to smell it.
Yeah.
I know what it
Make
smells
you
like.
sneeze.
Normally, if it wasn't for you, Kelly can handle some heat. I would put,
The whole bottle.
I would probably put 3.5 for you tonight.
Yes.
I'm going to put,
How
let me
much?
see that. I'm going to probably go, this is a tablespoon. I'm going to probably go, now hear that chicken dying down in the background? You hear that?
Just getting ready. 1. Uh-oh, you're going more?
I'm going to go about 1.
That's about 2.
That's,
2?
that's about right.
All right.
Let's go a heaping teaspoon of chili powder. That's
that
what
heaping?
that's what I tasted last time I had it. Now, some Nashville chicken is just pure hot. Some of it has sweet. I like a little bit of sweet. So I'm going to say let's put 1.5 tablespoons at least brown sugar in there. Now, I want you to think about buffalo sauce. When I kept experimenting around, talking to other people who've done it, one of the most important things is
Butter.
butter and really good buffalo sauce.
That's half a stick.
That's half a stick. It may seem like a lot, but let's mix that butter up in there. We're going to take a little bit of garlic. Let's go a 1/2 teaspoon. Let's take a 1/2 tablespoon of smoked paprika. I'm kind of back on my smoked paprika kick, have you noticed?
I've noticed.
But I'm still on the fennel kick too.
You have salt? How much salt would you like?
Now we're going to go a 3/4 tablespoon of salt in here. If you have restrictions on salt, follow your doctor. And then we're going to come back with 1.5 teaspoons of my dry rub, and we're going to let that thicken up. Now you think that sounds like a lot of cayenne, but really comes together nicely. It has more of a smoky flavor. Now you get some heat, but if you put double that,
I'd be
You
on fire.
really get some
Be
heat.
on fire.
all right, so now listen. Listen how that's really died down. You hear that?
And it's been 17 minutes?
Been about 17 minutes.
Okay.
Now I want you to look at
Wow.
this.
Oh, that looks good. That's a huge, that grew, it got bigger. I think it got a bigger piece of chicken.
So now you think about a sandwich, that's about what we want for a
Wow.
sandwich. Look at that piece of, look at both sides of it.
Wow.
Have you ever seen a more perfect, beautiful piece of chicken?
No, I have not.
So as I'm tasting along here, I want a little more sweet, so I'm gonna put another 1/2 tablespoon of brown sugar into my mix.
Kill the hot a little.
It'll kill the hot, but you don't wanna kill it too much. Now this is to me a nice warm flavor. It's not overpowering, don't you agree?
I'm not gonna try it though. I mean, like out of this dish, you'd probably kill me.
Some people don't like hot stuff. And again, if you wanted to go, if you really wanted hardly any hot taste, but you wanted kind of
Yeah.
the Nashville chicken experience,
Yeah.
maybe go 1 tablespoon. And that's hardly any heat at all. Believe it or not, when you cook it down like this, it takes that heat out of it. Now again, when you look at that piece of chicken right there, look how evenly done that is all the way across.
That's perfect.
That is a beautiful piece of chicken. It's crispy, the oil has drained out, and that is gonna make a wonderful sandwich. So let's pop that in the oven on warm to keep it warm. All right, so we're gonna make a roux and want equal parts flour and butter. I'm gonna say we're gonna do, that look like 3 tablespoons to you? Now look at this. We've got a hatch pepper Gouda. That's even to give us a little more heat. And then we've got a smoked cheddar and a sharp cheddar.
Yummy.
So that's some of the things you could use for this. And again, you don't want to get it shredded. Now here's what we're going to do. If you will, kind of dump this out, and we're going to make us a little roux here. Thicken that up. Okay, let's start putting some cream in there. This is about 1.5 cups of cream. If you go ahead and start shredding me some cheese.
I will.
Now again, don't get the already shredded cheese. It has anti-binding agents in it that will make it melt not so good. Okay, now I'm going to turn this heat pretty much off. Now something you could do if you wanted to, you could add bacon. You could add all kinds of wonderful stuff. Remember when Taryn made her
Macaroni and cheese.
macaroni and cheese? She called it mozzarella.
She used mozzarella.
Mozzarella. But man, it was good, wasn't
That's
it?
really good.
So at this point,
Have you tasted it to make sure it's good?
oh, you know it's good. You know, at this point, I'm gonna add just a little black pepper, just a little Untitled cherry pepper. You know where we
try.
stand on our pepper. What could possibly be wrong there?
I could just eat the cheese.
If you want to go a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. All right, so let's go ahead and
How many would you like?
take our noodles.
This till looks good.
Yeah. Okay, and just kind of gauge your. Oh,
A little more?
that is creamy goodness right there.
A little more?
Yep.
There's a couple
I
more
think-
noodles over here. You want any more?
I don't know. I think this is
it's
gonna
good?
do it. Now look at that.
Oh.
Look at that.
Did you get me like one noodle just to make sure?
You want to try it? Make
I
sure.
probably should.
Let me
'cause
get it mixed up just a
It
little
might
bit
not
more.
be good.
Now, at this point, if you wanted to take this and pop it in the oven, put some breadcrumbs on it, you can do that. But no, this is our straight mac and cheese. So what we've got here is a little sourdough onion bread, or we have some Texas toast. So we're gonna pop that in, just brown that. I'm gonna put a little bit of garlic on that, and we're good to go. And it's ours, so we can do what we want, right?
That's right. That's right.
Who's gonna stop us?
Nobody.
Why?
Because we do what we want.
That's exactly right. It's our kitchen. We can do exactly
That's right.
what we want. So, to bring your
Wow.
creaminess,
Macaroni on a sandwich.
macaroni and sandwich. I got
Like
it.
that.
I made it flat, thinking ahead, so it doesn't roll on out of there. We have a smoky cheese pasta,
It's really nice and smoky.
and again, we don't eat like this every day, just every other day. And there you go. That'd make a decent sandwich.
I could eat just that.
All right, so then we come back with our beautiful piece of chicken.
Wow.
I'm so scared that it's so beautiful that I'm
You
going
won't be
to
able to
lose
eat
the picture of that in my mind forever. So what are we going to do? We're going to take a brush, coming in. That's what it's supposed to look like.
Glistening chicken.
Glistening hot chicken.
That makes sense.
Now,
the
if you,
oil.
yeah, now if you wanted to, you could just absolutely dip that in the sauce.
Please don't.
We're gonna put,
You can though.
For you, we're going to
We'll
put it on
cut
one
it
side.
in half and you can dip.
Now, you think we got the wonderful smoky cheesy flavor on the one side. Next step is I want some sweet
Yummy pickles.
flavor, so we're going to come back with our sweet pickles. How many do we want in there? I think 5 is the perfect number. What do you
Yeah,
think? See how it's
perfect,
tapering down
perfect.
there. And then the last and final piece of the puzzle.
Oh, that's a sandwich for
Now
two.
you got to smash that down in there.
That's for
we
two.
can cut that in half.
Yeah.
And I could eat both halves.
I know you could. Yum.
You go first.
I go first? This
Yep.
is so big.
That's a big sandwich. Get your money's worth there, Miss Farmer. I'm only going to charge you $150 for that. What do you think?
That is delicious. I'm getting some hot.
You're getting some heat. You got
Yes.
to, because but you can't go much less than.
Wow.
Look at that. Look at that.
That's delicious.
Now I know you like it mild, and that's mild.
You did it so you could eat the whole sandwich.
I may have thought that. Look at that. Beautiful
Delicious.
piece of chicken, and we still got the crunch on there. Even with the pickles and macaroni on the bottom, we still got that crunch.
That coating is amazing. And I like the macaroni with it. I really like the macaroni.
You know what?
That's delicious. You're gonna eat the whole thing, aren't you?
That makes me so happy.
I know it does.
That's what I was looking for the other day. Didn't quite get it. I got it today. The heat is there.
It is. I feel it inside still. It's going down my throat.
When I feel just a little sweat popping up.
Yeah, I feel some sweat.
Now you could go less again. Oh, that to me, it's warm, but it's not, I'm not running out to the backyard to jump in a pool.
I might have to.
Oh, so good. You know what I suggest, Mrs. Farmer? I suggest we eat this.
Okay.
Then maybe come back later and explore the possibilities of either using the deep fryer more or possibly a summertime dessert.
That'd be good.
Either or would make me happy, but let's eat this first.
Okay.
All right, so we're back, we're cleaned up. Look here. Look at this beat up recipe card. When would you say, 1979, 80?
Probably. I was a kid when I wrote that.
Now, whose recipe is this?
This is my grandma's.
Your grandma's
Solomon's.
recipe.
Yes.
I love cards and things like that. But you know what? I said, Nikki, can I please have some of my oatmeal cookies? And you said,
I'd rather have peanut butter.
she loves peanut butter cookies. So, in the amount of time we're going to have left, let's speed this up And let's get some peanut butter cookies. Your recipe.
Okay.
With our lard.
Let me just say something. I knew when I make these, I thought, I'm going to make these, and that way you won't eat any. And I made a dozen the other day, walked out to get my phone, came back, there were 4 cookies left. So I think you liked them.
I had to sample to make sure that they were
Well, you
correct.
did a big sample. This is super easy, and this is a small recipe, and I like to make it, put it in the fridge and chill, and then I just pull out however I want to make. When I want cookies, just continue to make. So it's very simple. You're going to be in my mixer.
All right.
I have got a 1/4 cup of butter here softened.
Gotcha. I can eat a lot of cookies.
1/4 cup of our lard.
Okay.
Go ahead and mix that.
Lard and butter.
Lard and butter. All right. Now, I've got 1/2 cup of peanut butter. You can just keep it going.
All right.
You've got to have lots of peanut.
Do I have the proper mixing skills?
You do. You're doing really good. 1/2 cup of sugar.
1/2 cup of sugar. This is your machine.
Regular sugar. This is old too. This machine
You
I
did the thing.
got.
Yeah, this is what, 19?
Oh wow.
80s?
Yeah, that was 40 years
I
ago.
wasn't even born then.
1/2 cup of brown sugar.
All right.
Thank you.
Did you see how I just poured that right in there?
Yes, and it's looking good. I'm gonna put 1 egg in this.
All right.
Let's go ahead and speed that up a little. Get that going good.
Speed it up. I've got my green shirt on. I don't want to get it on my... We had an argument about this shirt. Is it green or is it blue?
I think it's blue.
It's green.
It's blue.
It's tealish.
I can hold some stuff up. But anyways, all right, go ahead and slow it down a little bit.
All right.
I have 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt that I mixed. This is 1 1/4 cups of flour, all purpose. And that's it. Isn't that simple? We're just gonna add
So you're
this
just gonna dump that in a little
Yeah, let it
time?
go slow so we don't blow it all over the kitchen. Let's try now one more, because I know you don't like a mess.
Speed it back up.
Go ahead. Let's get her good.
Smells good.
Smells really good. All right, I think we're good.
Now, I know because of eggs and so on and so forth, you're not supposed to eat this batter.
I know. I'll try not
But
to.
that's all I got to say about
I
that.
know. It's up to you. All right, now this is a small batch because when I make my peanut butter cookies, I call them my baby cutie peanut butter cookies, because that's what Dad and I used to call them, because they're little and they just small ones. You can just pop them right in your mouth.
But you can make big ones too.
You could, but these are the baby cuties.
You can make baby cutie ones?
Baby cuties.
Because you can eat more and not feel so bad about
Exactly.
it. So the other day when I ate 8,
It wasn't that bad.
I don't feel terrible about it.
All right, now I'm just going to take all this and I want to put it in this bowl, and I want to put this in the fridge for at least an hour, and just it's good to let it chill. And I do this and I leave it in there for a couple days, and like I said, each day I might pull out and make me 12 cookies.
Have more cookies?
Yeah, but just do it as you need them. That way, because if I made all 100 of them, you'd eat them all.
Now, you've got the oven on
375.
375.
Yes.
We got more batter in the refrigerator.
So this I will put away with the magic of television. I already have some that's in here. I like to use my little scooper so that they're even, and that can make me little even balls here that way.
So these are baby cuties.
My little baby cuties. See how little they are?
And what'd you say preheat was?
375. And these are only going to cook because they're small. We're only going to let these cook 6 or 7 minutes. We're going to watch them.
Baby cuties.
Aren't those cute? All right, so look, we have more for tomorrow. That's all I'm going to make.
And then you do your fork thing.
I am. I have flour in here. And I'm just going to do this. See how cute and
Just
little
to
they are?
make your little marks.
And they are going to grow. But that way you can just pop them all in your mouth.
You know, like a little ginger snap almost.
Yeah. All right, one more thing I like to do. This is sugar. You gotta just kind of, each one needs a little bit, don't you think?
Oh, sugar.
Yeah, gotta sweeten them up a little bit, because there's not enough sugar in them. All right, so these are, I got 375, and we're gonna pop these in for 6 to 7 minutes. We're gonna watch it.
Gotcha.
Let's let them sit. See how cute and little they are?
So because they're baby cuties and because they're tiny, that's less calories per cookie.
That's right. So it's like you can have a bunch of cookies. Yeah, 3 cookies is like 1.
This one.
Why, it's the biggest?
No, just look. It's pretty.
Isn't that cute? It's
Oh, that's so
bite
tiny, I
size.
can-
It's bite size. See, I still take bites. See, it's a perfect serving for our dessert for dinner.
Ms. Farmer, that's delicious.
Glad you liked them.
As usual, everything you put in the oven is delicious. But sadly, our half hour is up. So that being said, a lot of people will come up and ask us, Mr. and Mrs. Farmer, how do we get your recipes? They ask very nicely.
They do.
And you generally say,
TimFarmersCountryKitchen.com.
and then they said, well, what if we wanted to talk about something? We said, well, go to our Facebook page, but it's very difficult. Too many steps. Or is it?
1 step.
What is it?
You hit like.
That's it? And you know what I like?
You like cookies, don't
Peanut butter
you?
cookies. We got to go. It's all about
Good times.
good friends
And really good eats.
and good cookies.
I better eat cookies or you're going to eat them all, aren't you? Let's save a couple. Let's make them look pretty. Don't eat them all.